The family support movement pulls the protective threads of the community around parents and their children. Involve parents, involve community, welcome cultural diversity. Our family resource programs are family-driven, so it is essential to involve parents in design, planning, implementation, and evaluation. One way to involve parents is to host general meetings where everyone is encouraged to give their idea. Make it easy for parents to volunteer by offering volunteer job tasks. Invite participants to sit on the board of directors. Aim at making your drop-in comfortable for all family members. Our fifth principle states that family resources programs strengthen the ability of families to raise healthy children by working in partnerships with families and communities. Act as a bridge by facilitating community connections with families, so families can navigate their way around their neighborhoods, services, and resources. Family resource programs are community hubs. Build relationships with neighbors, storekeepers, and varied government levels. Invite their knowledge and advice. Host events in your center. Intentionally and strategically weave onto the larger community. Build the community network that your family resource program is a part of. Go to your local community service providers, such as health and family workers, if they are unable to come to you. Develop plans and foster professional relationships. Aim for each staff member to feel confident in interacting with the community movers and shakers. Family resource programs have their roots in the settlement houses of the late 1800s. Today, this welcome and support of immigrants and newcomers continues. Be intentional to reflect the ethnic and cultural practices of your neighborhood families. Food is a wonderful bridge. Provide opportunities to learn about each other's culture. Affirm cultural identity. Display books and posters in a variety of languages. Invite special guests for traditional celebrations. Create a gossip-free atmosphere where everyone is valued. Family resource programs recognize and respect the multicultural nature of their communities and follow practices that promote tolerance, honesty, respect, and openness.
On all kinds of levels, parents are involved in just the day-to-day running of the place. And it's wonderful to see a grandparent who maybe doesn't speak very much English, but who is really happy to be involved in our kitchen program, cutting snack, tidying, just owning the place and making it as we want it to be, a home away from home for people. With each other, they have often made friends. Either two children will connect in the playroom and then the parents connect with each other. They're parents who are involved in Celebrate Mount Pleasant. They're parents who take leadership roles in the community in terms of involving other parents. They may come from the same country, but have met here. And that has happened to me many times. I've said, oh, did you know such a buddy, you know, in China? Well, no, we met when we were both bringing our grandchildren to the family center here. Part of our work here is to outreach to the community, to welcome the community here. We are funding partners with two of our local neighborhood houses in terms of our federal funding through CAP-C. And that's been a really important partnership for us. We welcome, for example, also the toy lending library through West Coast, the community health nurse with the outreach librarian. So there are many opportunities to bring those people here and have them connect with families here. Families can then move out into the community, find those same people at the library, at the health center, and so on, and it's a very natural and warm transition. Our community partners are valuable to us. We couldn't exist without them. I think it's important also, though, to note that there are so many languages spoken in this area. I think there's something like 40, 50. We couldn't possibly address all those linguistic needs. We make sure that we recognize the different celebrations. So it's not that staff necessarily represent every culture, but they are really aware of many of the traditions, the particular needs. Even some idea of world history is useful. It's useful to know if somebody is coming as a refugee, or if they are a landed immigrant, or if they are on a working visa. Where do they come from? Can you show us on a map where you come from? What does that mean? How did you get here? And to be respectful also of what people may not wish us to know. They are here as a family with a child, and that is the most important piece. We have a very diverse population, and we don't know from day to day who's going to be coming. That can be a challenge, and connecting people can sometimes be a challenge. So it's really important, again, that as staff we are cognizant of the need to always be looking at what we do through the lens of how is this building the community, both here in the family centre, and how is what we're doing here reflected in what is happening in the broader community of northern Mount Pleasant.
We've done programs here like Nobody's Perfect, where you talk about the challenges of parenting and all kinds of things that are going wrong and what's going right, and learning from other parents of how we can do things better. So we've learned about things like immunization programs, where to go to community centers to get those things done, which has been really good, getting flu shots, and just simple things like that.
Doing family childcare is a very isolated position. You're at home with children all day with very little interaction from other adults, so it gives them an opportunity to network with other childcare providers and to be, gain a better connection with staff, with CCRR staff. And it's kind of an informal way that we can offer some training. So it may be that the staff is role modeling it, whether it's how to handle a child's behavior or what to eat for snack. It also shows the childcare provider some interesting ways of setting up their environment, setting up their rooms, and how certain play activities or toys will influence a child's behavior. So we've been able to use it in that way as well. It's really useful to us so that we can give providers that opportunity to get away from their home, not be so isolated. It's also benefited us in being able to connect with families that come to the drop-in. Many of them have wanted to find out more about doing childcare themselves, or offering, how to access childcare providers. And it's really close to our resources. Our offices are next door, so it's been very useful for childcare providers who are using it as a drop-in to be able to also use other resources. I think the connection that we've had with the parents who come to Family Place was an unexpected benefit. And also, over the summer especially, we combined with the Family Place staff and went on outings with their families, and so we took along our childcare providers, and so it made for some really fun outings and connecting people once again that all are working or caring for their small children, and gave them great price reductions to go to events. So that's probably one of the most unexpected benefits.
I'm a public health nurse working out of one of the community health centers that's in this neighborhood, and so I visit all new moms and babies when they come home from the hospital. And so often I would come across a family where there are young children besides the baby, and so I will refer the families to this program if I feel that they are not very connected to other resources in the community yet. About half of the families that I work with are multicultural and predominantly Chinese families. So Often they're new to Vancouver, they're new to Canada, and so they are very isolated. They're familiar with some of the resources or drop-ins. They don't know anyone in the neighborhood. So I would make a referral and ask them, or bring them. Most of the time I would just bring them because they don't even know the streets, and let them know about the program and the services here. And so it helps with decreasing the isolation. It gets them out and connected to the community. Because a major part of the work that I do is helping to strengthen the family, so them and their children, but helping them to connect more with the community and using the resources that's in their neighborhood as well. So I find that once they come here, they keep coming, because it's not only for them, but it's for their kids as well, and the kids love coming here. This center often would have other programs besides the drop-in, connecting them up with some ESL classes, parenting classes, ABC program for the kids. So there's many other programs that they learn about once they come here. It allows families to connect with other families and connect with other programs, and often it's a stepping stone. So once they find out about this program, they get connected to other programs in their neighborhood and in the city. So it's, again, it's like a first step. That's something that's in their community. They feel safe once they come here. They learn about other programs, and then they feel safer to venture out a little bit more and more into other parts of the city. So I find that many of the families that I refer and bring here, they live within walking distance of the center, and then once they feel comfortable coming here, they start to go to other resources in the city. The families, they will bring their friends and their relatives that are in other parts of the city because they think that this is such a neat place. So I think that's a real benefit, is that they tell their friends and other people about it and share. Family centers are great for families and for the kids, and I hope that there's more and more family centers springing up everywhere. It's a great resource and for families and moms and children, and it's so I can't say more than that.
My involvement here at the Mount Pleasant Family Place is I come twice a week for the drop-in, and also have done a couple programs, the parenting, and now my older child is doing the ABC program that they have Friday mornings, which is why I'm here now. And also I've just joined the board of directors just last month. So I'm still new, but I'm learning a lot about the center and about the nonprofit organizations and stuff like that. So that's really neat, and I'm excited to start doing that.
Family resource programs involve parents, involve the community, and welcome diversity. The culture of collective ownership creates an empowering environment.